Layton City Council meeting Thursday, April 2nd, 2026, 7 p.m. Good. Okay. Hey, this is what you call spring break. Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone out to our Layton City Council meeting this evening, which is April 22nd. We're happy to have those in attendance here tonight. Our two guests, but at the same time, that's a good sign that everybody's enjoying their spring break. So, as customary, before we get going with our meetings, we'd always like to start out with our prayer and pledge, and we take turns each month, and so I'm going to turn the time over to Councilmember Smith-Edmondson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to do the prayer first, and then because we have a visiting youth council member here, I've asked her if she will lead us in the pledge. So I'll ask you all to bow your heads. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for an opportunity to come and do the business of Layton City. We thank you that we have a great city and that we have residents that are engaged. But we thank you for our staff who helps us as a council and mayor make the decisions that are best for the people. But we also want to pause to thank you for the precipitation we've received over the past couple of days, and we ask that you continue to do that. We ask that we'll deliberate on whatever we need to tonight, and that all decisions that are made will be done according to your will. And we thank you for all that you're doing for us and all that you're going to do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand. And begin. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you both. I appreciate that. That was a great prayer and leading us in the pledge there. What I'd like to do to start out is actually acknowledge our youth council member with us here this evening, which is London Black. And London, thank you for leading us in the pledge. But would you mind sharing a moment of your experience on the council and what school you're from? And and I'll have you speak into this mic. You're welcome to either stand or whatever you want to do.
Okay. I'm London Black, and I go to Northridge High, and I'm in 10th grade. I haven't been in LCYC for very long, but I've liked it a lot so far.
Okay. You ready for the July 4th holiday?
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Okay. We're going to need you. Okay. With that, I'll just go ahead and turn the time back over to the council to see if there's any municipal announcements they'd like to share at this time.
Yes. Well, I'm going to have to read them. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Turn on your mic. And excuse me. Now the mic's on. Layton City Council. The Parks Department is closing the bathrooms at Andy Adams Park. There will be some portables there until the new bathroom is built. So be aware of that. They also are hiring 14 years and older, a lot of kids, scorekeepers, umpires, amphitheater techs, arts in the park, tennis instructors. The Parks Department, 16 and older, they're looking for seasonals. Surf and Swim is looking for lifeguards, 15 and older. So if you got some young kids that are looking for work to get paid for, city's a great place to work in the summer.
Okay. Anyone else?
I just have one announcement from Layton Communities That Care. We are going to begin our Circle of Security parenting classes. They'll be on Wednesdays starting April 8th through May 27th. They'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Crestview Elementary School. There are different sessions for each week, and these are for folks who have kids between the ages of 4 months and 6 years old, but they are also welcoming caregivers and parents with kids of all ages to attend. So you can go to dbhutah.org to register for that, and there are a number of other things that we do during the year, and if you want to volunteer, please reach out.
Okay, it's a great program. I love it. You guys have done a really good job with that, so thank you. Okay, I do have just 2 quick announcements. One is if you see any of the pinwheels or signs with the pinwheels this month, just be aware that this is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we will have a couple of those pinwheels in our park, but certainly just help bring awareness to this. It's something that all of us need to be able to acknowledge and take a part of, and recognize that there is a prevention for this. And so we're lucky we have actually a citizen in our city that is very much intimately involved with this and has been for numerous years. She actually sits on our Parks and Rec Commission as well, Miss Debbie Comstock. So I want to just give her just an appreciation for continuing this. Okay, my other announcement is kind of again, it's an excellent program. It's something to bring awareness to, and that is our Strong and Secure Senior Fair. And this is put on by our Layton City Fire Department. We've got the Abington Senior Center involved. Intermountain Health is involved, Davis County Aging Services, Tanner Clinic. There's a number of people that are willing to help put on this fair, and this year it's going to be held over at the Layton Hills Mall a week from this Saturday, which will be April 11th, and it's really designed for the entire family. So we want everyone to come and kind of learn what you need to do to help take care of your seniors and the aging population. There'll be a lot of activities and education for the whole family and prizes. So again, that's a week from this Saturday. Yes. Sure. Go ahead.
Thanks, Mayor. I forgot to have one more announcement. So I don't know if many of you remember that our schools had a Learning to Breathe program for our 6th graders over the past couple of years. With Layton Communities That Care, we are also doing a 3-session Learning to Breathe for adults. And that will be on Wednesday, April 22nd, Wednesday, April 29th, and Wednesday, May 6th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And those will be held at Davis Behavioral Health, also here in Layton. We do know that our youth court kids, they have participated in our Learning to Breathe, and some of their parents have stayed and completed those sessions, and we've got really good feedback on that. Our police chief was also interested, and so this is something that's good for adults as well as for our kids, just to help with overwhelming feelings, stress, and just thinking about, mindfulness and our own personal awareness of our mental health. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, seeing that there's no more municipal announcements, I'll turn the time over to our citizen if she would have a comment or not. Okay, thank you for attending tonight. Being that there's no citizen's comment, we'll just go ahead and jump right into our consent items. We do have 2 consent items on our agenda, and of course, like I've mentioned in the past, this council can go ahead and take action on the consent items by one single motion. So when that time comes, just know that that's what they'll be doing. So I'll go ahead and start out with our first item, and Mr. Steve Jackson will give us the update on, or the presentation on the understanding between Layton City and the Royce Circle L regarding a utility connection.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. It's good to be with you tonight. For your consideration is Resolution 2618. It's a memorandum of understanding between Layton City and Royce Circle L, the trailer court over there near Cross Street, just north of Gentile. The trailer court has been doing some utility improvements within the boundaries of their development. They're increasing their fire flow capacity and some other things in there. And in the course of that, what was discovered is that our water meter is tucked right in the back corner of that property, in the back through several gates and different other areas to get to the private property line. Their sewer line also runs across the city's property. This is the park's maintenance facility. Property is owned by the redevelopment agency for the city, but and then their existing water line cuts over here somewhere and possibly underneath that building to get to that point. So as part of this, it's a 4-inch line in order to get increased fire flow in this area, improve access for the meter for the city. We've been in discussions with them to relocate the meter from the existing point here out here to Cross Street and then reinstall an 8-inch water line that will connect and improve the fire flow for that property. We also discovered that when these utilities were put in, there was no easements established for these private utilities, and so part of this would be that the city would establish an easement on our property for the private utilities to be maintained in the future. The city would then own the meter itself and the water line out to the street and Cross Street, but then the water line would become privately owned from the meter into Circle L's property. So with that, the Public Works Department would install the water line in the meter, and then Circle L would be paying for all the materials and the cost to buy the equipment to do this work as part of this memorandum. So staff would recommend that the council adopt Resolution 2618 and approve this memorandum of understanding with Royce Circle L regarding these utility connections and the easement, and then authorize the mayor or city manager to sign the necessary documents. And what that would entail is after the water line is installed, just to make sure there's no surprises as to where it goes, we would establish that easement after the water line was put in and have the mayor or city manager sign that over to Circle L. Is there any questions I can answer for anybody?
Council, any questions on this?
Okay.
Good explanation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll go on to item number B, and Ms. Jaden Sanders is going to present this item for us, and it's regarding a existing antenna facility.
You read thanks. Okay. Thank you, guys. So tonight I'm going to present on a land lease agreement between Layton City and AT&T. There is an existing cell tower and an existing land lease on this site. It's Andy Adams Park. So the original lease was originally entered into April 20th, 2000, and it's approaching the end of its term. So AT&T desires to stay on the site, and the city is agreeable to the request, but the access to the site needs to be adjusted to accommodate the construction of new bathroom facilities at Andy Adams Park. So the original access went through where the proposed restroom buildings are right there, and so it's just been slightly shifted to the left. So some key points in the land lease are that the original lease will be terminated in its entirety and replaced with this new agreement. The amount of space that they're leasing is approximately 651 square feet. They will pay rent annually, an amount of $23,704.49. And each year that rent will increase by 3%. The initial term of the agreement is for 5 years, beginning April of this year, and then the agreement may be extended for 5 additional 5-year terms. In the event of a breach of an agreement that's not cured after 30 days, the city would be able to terminate. And then upon termination of the lease, whether it was terminated early or if it just expired on its terms, the lessee shall remove the antenna facilities and restore the premises to its original condition. So city staff recommends that the council adopt Resolution 2619 to approve this land lease agreement and authorize the mayor to sign the necessary documents. Thank you.
Any questions on this, council? Again, good presentation once again. Thank you. Okay, being that there's no discussion on it, I'll go ahead and bring the items back to the council for action. Again, that concludes our consent items. So, council, whoever would like to make the motion, please make sure you state the resolution as well.
Madam Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution 26-18 and Resolution 26-19 as presented.
Okay, I have a second. Who was that? Okay. Councilman Bloxham. Okay. All in favor of this action, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, you have it. That wraps up our agenda at this time, unless there's any additional unfinished business that anyone would like to bring before us.
Yeah, if I could, Madam Mayor, there was just a request and something that maybe we could take as a city. I had Scott Wynn reach out to me, the son of Steve Wynn, the crossing guard that was tragically killed at Main Street in 1600 North, and made a request, I guess just an ask of the city if there was a way that potentially we could memorialize or honor his father by renaming that street, that 1600 North Street, in some way, naming it in memory of Steve Wynn. So I don't necessarily, he gave a similar street, I think it was in South Jordan, I could double check that, where they didn't necessarily change the street itself because it still stayed the same on the mailing address, but they just kind of had a memoriam street in addition to the 1600 North. So it was just something that I thought I'd pass along. I take my kids to school every single day, and honestly, I don't know if there's a week that goes by that I don't think of Steve when I'm taking my kids to school and seeing those same crossing guards there, and just grateful for all of the time that they take in rain, snow, sleet, sunshine, no matter what, to help those kids get across the street. And it was something that really affected me, so I just wanted to pass along to the council, maybe something we as a council and as a staff can discuss, but I just wanted to pass along Mr. Wynn's request.
I'd have to say I understand that, and certainly I think we've all recognized the sadness that has brought and the importance of our crossing guards. So, Council, if you want to take the time now and discuss.
I just would like to say I really like the idea of the 1600 North is still there just for so you can find things, but to have maybe his name, I don't know how it would look underneath or whatever, but it's kind of like our firemen. You know, we don't have these things happen often, and when it does, it's not that it's more tragic than other deaths, but it's something they were doing in the line for us and, of course, for all the kids. And so I think it would be well within our thought process, whatever you want to say, to do something like that. I would totally agree for it.
Okay. Anyone else want to weigh in on this or how you feel? Okay. Then I would recommend that we actually come back and make a decision perhaps in our next meeting, or put it on an agenda item for a work meeting, and see if it's something that we want to proceed forward so that the staff will know how to handle this. Okay. If there's no other business or that anyone else would like to discuss, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Here, I took my note off. It said turn on the mic. I don't know if I can make a motion this early. It just doesn't seem right, but I will make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, thank you. There's a motion and a second. I'll acknowledge it and officially adjourn this meeting on this week of spring break and the great moisture we're receiving. So thank you, everyone, for attending. And it looks like we have another person out there in the audience, so that's awesome. Thank you for being here. Good night, everyone.
All right.